I'm Serena Marshall for ABC News Digital outside the White House, where I am being joined by the 3 YouTube stars who just interviewed President Obama. Hi, guys.
Hello, thanks for having us.
So if you could just introduce yourselves for our audience here and your YouTube channel.
My name is Ingrid Nelson, and my YouTube channel is youtube.com/Ingrid Nelson.
I am Adonde, and on YouTube I go by Swoozy.
My name is Destin Sandlin. I have a YouTube channel called Smarter Every Day.
So you guys on your YouTube channels, you do beauty, glamour, you have animation,
about my life, yeah.
your life, and you try
Science.
make us all smarter a little bit every
That's the
day.
goal.
It's a big departure to come here now and interview President Obama. What was that like for you when you found out that you were going to get to interview the Commander-in-Chief of the United States?
I didn't think I was going to get it at first.
Same.
Yeah, because you go through multiple stages of the interviewing process, so I don't know how you
Same. I kept telling myself it's not going to happen. Don't get hyped up. Even after they told me you're in, I was like, it's still not going to happen.
Like maybe they'll find somebody better.
Correct.
I'm an engineer for the Army, so I had to actually request time off work. So that was an interesting conversation.
So it's when I have to go talk to my big boss,
It was pretty
actually.
interesting.
Yeah, and they let you off, obviously.
They did, yes.
Good. So what was it like, though, for you to prepare for this interview? You're talking a lot of big issues, politics, ISIL terrorism, talked about police brutality and women's rights. How did you prep for this? What
I
did
had
you
these
do?
questions ready to go. The instant they gave me the green light, I was like, I already got like 15 questions ready to go, because like I see the news and I'm watching, and I'm just like, I would want to ask somebody this. I don't want to ask the government this. I want to ask Obama this. So there wasn't a lot of prep for me. It was just, talking to the guys at YouTube. Is like, is it okay if I ask Donald Trump? Is it okay if I talk about, police brutality? And for me, that's how it went.
You had to get permission, though, for your question?
No, it was just like clearing it with YouTube, because it's like, I want to make the platform look good. Because at the end of the day, I represent black men, I represent YouTubers, I represent a lot of different things. So I wanted to make sure, like, hey, guys at YouTube, if I ask this is not pushing the envelope too far. And they were like, Swoozy, it's your interview, you can do whatever you want, but Donald Trump is a thumbs up.
And you were going to say...
I asked the internet community. I asked Reddit. I asked the YouTube followers, Facebook people, and I got a lot of really good questions. I'm not quite as confident as my man Susie here.
No?
The internet helped a lot. The Kendrick Lamar and Drake one, that was totally the internet. The Star Wars one, totally internet. They had a lot more that I couldn't ask, like the Kardashians. I wanted to know who his favorite one was.
What questions did you want to ask that you didn't have time
The
for?
Kardashian one was fun. I wanted to hear that. The Disney, they wanted to know the Disney the Disney's characters, who he would have related to the most. I think he would have said Aladdin.
Probably.
I don't know, maybe.
Yeah,
That's just your own bias.
Me, yeah. Did you have any that you wanted to ask that you didn't get to ask?
No, I got to ask my question. I really wanted to ask the question about women's health, and I got to ask that.
That's a brave question to ask the president. You asked him
And
about,
he didn't even know about it either.
So that was a big win for women's health everywhere.
Yeah, it was.
Were you nervous to ask that question, though? Because I don't think anybody has ever asked the president about women's hygiene.
I was actually not nervous about asking that question. I was nervous about the interview as a whole, because it's something that's really exciting, but that was something that I knew for sure I wanted to touch on, and now I think we have a better idea of how we can move forward and make progress in that area.
Now, you guys got a lot of time with him when it comes down to it. You got
13 minutes each.
Yeah, more time than some White House correspondents who are here every day. So was there a nerve associated with making sure that you represented your audiences, or...
Was there? Were we
nervous?
Well, there's a little bit of that. It's the president, right?
Yeah.
But he's just a man, and he's granted he's the most powerful man in the world, but he was fantastic. He warmed it up and made it easy. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah,
I think
totally.
just for me it was like the first words coming out of my mouth. Once I got rolling, I think too, when we video blog, it's always the beginning is always the hardest, and once you start rolling, that ball just is, let's do this.
No, you weren't sweating, shaking?
Oh, I was.
You were sweating a little?
Last night, I think, were you guys nervous last night at all during the interviews and rehearsals?
I was nervous during rehearsals. I was nervous right before, but I think just being in his presence, he has a really calming, kind presence.
I like looking in his eyes.
Looking in his eyes?
We were talking.
We were actually connecting.
How much we...
It's like, which eye did you look into the interview? The left one or the right one? I split it up. 75% of his right, and then 25 for his left.
That's the secret, then.
I'm doing it right now for you.
Oh. Now we know. So, you said there's some things that you didn't get to ask that you wanted to. Was there other topics?
Climate control.
Climate control.
Because my thing is, like, I just moved to LA, and I'm stuck in traffic, and I'm looking at these industrial towers just pouring pollution into the atmosphere, and it's just like, if I go to Chipotle and I walk outside and throw my rice bowl into the bushes, there's consequences for that. How is it I'm in trouble for polluting the earth, but all these guys here that are polluting the earth round the clock? Like, I went to Orlando for Christmas and it's like 190 degrees. That's not okay for December. So that was one of the questions I really want to get around to that I didn't get to.
What about you? Outside of, you talked a lot about space exploration.
Well, I wanted to ask about the balance between diplomacy and military intervention, because he's got to make those decisions and he represents America to the rest of the world. So I was interested to see how he felt like that changed throughout the course of his presidency, how his views on that changed.
Now, we did learn a lot about the president that we didn't know before. How he thinks dogs should wear their pants. His rap pick.
Yeah,
you said you thought he'd actually pick.
I thought he was all about the hotline bling,
Yeah?
but he went with Kendrick. I heard, like, the producers for the YouTube and Google side, they were like, he's going to choose Kendrick, watch. And I'm like, guys, trust me on this one. And he didn't even flinch. He was like, Kendrick. I was like, wow, okay, yeah, no, he's in tune with his stuff. So
I think I was most shocked, though, that he hadn't seen the new Star Wars.
he's a busy guy.
Yeah, he is busy.
But he did end a press briefing last year saying that he was leaving to go see Star Wars, so we might have to follow up on that.
Maybe it was the old one that he was going to go see.
That's true.
Yeah,
Maybe
we need
it
to
was.
follow up on that.
He said the first one, which is part
Yeah.
4, was his favorite. So
Did that surprise you?
no, not really. I mean, if he would have said part 1, like as in episode 1, that would have shocked me a little bit. The pod racing scene, like 18 minutes, really, George Lucas? Like, that was a bit much, and I think he knows that he said it behind the scenes. But yeah, no, I mean, honestly, I wish we had more time, because
Yeah.
13 minutes you hear it, and I'm sure you guys
Yeah,
are like,
you just warm up in that amount of
Yeah.
time.
correct,
So all of a sudden
correct.
you're like, wait, more time.
Were you surprised he didn't know about the luxury tax?
Yeah, I was really surprised. And he did say, that is something that the states control, but I think it's amazing that now the president knows, and now people know in their state, if that is happening, to really get on top of things and to make change happen.
And now you did come a little bit early. We saw a picture of you guys with Bo and Sunny.
Mhm, they're so soft. They are so
It's
my
soft.
ridiculous,
gosh.
really.
It's almost as equal as interviewing the president. You get to see the presidential dogs, right?
Yeah.
So what happened? Were they just bring them out to see
Perfect
them?
we
timing.
didn't even
Right
know-
place, right time.
Yeah, they didn't even tell us. They just brought us into this down this corridor into this
And the
room.
trainer was very nervous. We're
I
like,
know.
can we? And we all looked at each
I
other like a Wild West stand. I was like, and
And
he was
it's
like,
so funny because the dogs just sit there being super
are you
chill.
gonna take a selfie or not? Is basically what they were saying with their
The
eyes.
dogs aren't that well trained. It was pretty impressive.
So
Yeah.
you got the presidential selfie and the pooch picture. Which
Yep.
one takes the cake there?
Oh, the POTUS.
POTUS.
That's
Okay.
right.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
right.
POTUS.
I'll choose the one with the president.
I was kind of shocked about the stuff that he admitted about carrying around in his pocket. I don't know if he's ever said that publicly,
No,
but
we haven't seen that before.
he carries something from a biker and then the
Yeah.
Pope like that. I might have to start doing that.
I thought
That's
that
really
was,
cool.
I thought that was really touching, and that
Very
he
touching.
remembered the stories behind
Yeah.
the things that were given to him. That was really special.
Yeah, I mean, speaking though of bikes, the biker gave
Mm-hmm.
it to him. Your bike, did you bring it here for him to see? Did
No,
the
no,
president
no.
get to test the bike?
No. The president's way too important. We can't risk
I can
hurting the
handle that
president.
bike. By the
You
way.
tried the bike yet?
She's talking about the backwards
Yes.
bike. When you turn it left, it turns right, and vice
No.
versa.
Oh my gosh.
I can handle that bike. I'm
can't.
telling him.
That took you
You
8 months, right?
It did, yeah.
And your son, 2 weeks?
Yes, it was pretty impressive.
Wow.
2
Yeah.
minutes. I'm
Crazy.
calling it 2
Yeah.
minutes.
I was hoping
I
to
get
see
better
that bike
brains.
going up and down the driveway here. No,
It'd be cool.
You didn't get to bring it though for us?
No, I didn't want to risk hurting the president.
No. Did you guys end up taking any swag from the White House before you left? Any napkins?
I don't know if we could say that on the.
I got some stationery.
I got some at White House M&Ms. Okay, I will.
I did
do
too.
that.
I plan on keeping the cup that they gave me for water. That's coming with me on the plane.
That's gonna go back
Yeah.
home. So, anything else though about your experience here that you want to take home to your viewers? Are
He
you
called
gonna-
me Swooze. Like, he walked in the room. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh, I got to talk to Swooze first." I'm like,
I know,
Just
you turned
summarize.
around.
I'm
you were
done.
like-
I'm done. Drop the mic. I'm out of here. I didn't even say anything. So that, to me, that was like really special. Even the tiny little touches, For me, I'm gonna die happy now.
What about you guys?
I think I'm going to take away just kind of his overall essence. He was just so kind and thoughtful, and that really shines through. And the way that he sits there and wants to connect with you, that's my biggest takeaway. It was really special.
Did you have any preconceived notions before coming to the White House about how this would go down?
No, I was trying not to think about it too much because then I would get even more nervous. So I just really took it as the moment came, and I think that was the best way to go.
I didn't want the media to feel like we were kind of imposing on their territory, because you guys go to school for this, you're in debt for like hundreds of thousands of dollars for this stuff,
and then that far.
And then here we come just like, yeah, we do YouTube videos, let's go to the president. So I mean, it was just like, I'm really honored that YouTube, we can start as kids in our bedroom, vlogging to a room with nobody in it, essentially to everybody, and we can end up with opportunities like this at the White House. So I mean, just YouTube, Google, the White House, it's all a big collaboration, and these guys really nailed it. I think it was a home run.
Now, you work in the Army Corps of Engineers, you were saying also, but your main, and I know you said you test video games.
Yeah, well, play competitively.
Okay. And do you have other jobs that you do, or is
no.
YouTube both made your
film and television on the side for me?
Yeah, I still work as a Department of Defense civilian, so that's what I do, and I do this on the side, right?
And you guys, it's your main
full time.
Yep. Did you ever think you'd have a job though then, making YouTube videos?
No, because especially like when
I started in 2005/6.
Yeah,
we were not getting paid.
No, and it was. I mean, when I started, it was just getting to that point where it was starting to turn, where people were maybe making some money, but you couldn't live off of it. So, no.
My parents are now, like the first time I was invited to the White House, that's when my dad actually was like, okay, maybe this YouTube thing is paying off. And that was like a year and a half ago. So literally, like, I bought my mom a car, I bought all kinds of luxury things for my family off the YouTube stuff.
I still didn't believe it.
And my dad was like, it's not happening.
I'm doing it wrong, apparently.
You interviewed the president though now, so.
And once I got invited for the It's On Us campaign, the first time to meet the president, that's when my dad was like, okay, so this YouTube thing, it might actually pay off. You need to start investing all your eggs into this basket. So it's great. I love it. Every day is Saturday for us. Except for, I mean, you got. He's going to come around.
No, it's not
he's going to come around.
Yeah. Sooner or later, though, you'll make the switch.
I really like. I like serving the country. That's why I still work.
His job is pretty cool.
Yeah, my sister, she was in the Peace Corps. I worked for the Department of Defense, and that's how we serve the country. So that's why I really appreciated this, because I felt like, I mean, he's on, his picture's on the wall at work. He's 8 steps up in my management chain. So that's why this was such a huge honor for me.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
And
Thanks for your time.
Your interviews were broadcast live, and you can just go back and watch them again if you missed it. And thank you for joining us for abcnews.com. I'm Serena Marshall.